That's me, Franny.
Hi, welcome back to FrannyTings. We're officially on episode 9. That's crazy. I've been consistent for 9 weeks, period.
That's pretty good.
Right? Super proud of myself. But anyways, this is not about me. It's about you today. So as you see, we have a special guest. Give it up for Mari. AKA known as Hey Ma on Instagram. So if you guys don't know who Mari is, I'm going to give her a quick little intro. So she's one of my closest friends personally. She also is the co-founder of Age Gap Studios. She's an art director. She's a graphic designer. I don't even know. She does everything. She does great hair, great makeup. She has great skin. I don't even know. She does so many things. So
I'm dying right now.
But the main reason why I wanted to get Mari on my podcast is because her story is very inspirational. So if you guys didn't know, Mari actually went with 0 kidneys for 6 years.
Yep, for 6 years.
So I wanted to get some spotlight on her story because every single time I hear it, I would never think that Mari lived without kidneys for 6 years by the way her attitude, the way she carries herself, like bad bitch energy. And today is International Women's Day. So this is the perfect fucking day to have you on my podcast.
I feel like really special. You really just hyped me up a lot. And I don't know, it makes me kind of emotional.
Oh, you're gonna cry.
I might. I'm gonna get my period, so for sure there might be some tears.
Okay, so I wanted you to kind of give like a brief summary of what you went through as for your kidneys and just your overall story of like, you know,
from like then to now, basically.
Then to now, yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you guys the short story because obviously with the details it's pretty long, and I eventually want to write a book about this, but we'll start with the beginning. So I was always kind of relatively healthy, always very athletic kind of person. I can't say that I had the best diet, which I think will contribute to me having kidney problems, which obviously I did. So I was a dancer and a track runner, right? So I was very athletic and
Legs on a milli.
Yeah, they used to call me man legs. Yeah, but
They
I
were
actually
jealous.
Right, no, but I took it as a compliment. I'm like, yes, bitch, I have bigger legs than you do. Anyways, so being a dancer, I would travel and stuff like that. And the last trip I took to Vegas, I came back and for some reason my shoes wouldn't close. I was a ballroom dancer, right? So we have to wear these kind of heels that kind of wrap around your feet and it was really swollen. So my mom was like, let's just do your annual checkup, right? Anal checkup.
Anal checkup. We love those.
Very important, men. Yeah, check your prostate.
Yeah, that's true. My dad had prostate cancer. If
So
you
did
didn't
my dad.
Really? That's crazy.
Super
I didn't
crazy,
know that.
yeah.
Okay, well, bonding moment. Anyways, continue. So you went for your annual.
Yeah, and so when I got my results back, it was like, bitch, you're like a 74-year-old woman on paper. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Whoa.
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? So after many tests and doing biopsies, which by the way, it's just like when they take a sample of an organ or some type of tissue, they tested it. And so I tested positive for this disease called FSGS, which it's called focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. Say that 5 times.
Bitch, what the fuck? Say it again.
Focal segmental glomerulosclerosis.
Yeah, that's my rapper name.
Dead. I love that we can laugh about this.
Yeah,
honestly,
I'm sorry, that's not funny, but
no, I mean, I've always been able to laugh about it. Anyways,
Okay.
but fun fact, Alonzo Mourning, who played for the Miami Heat, had the same syndrome, right? And he also had
that's
a transplant.
crazy.
So eventually what it is, it's eventually your kidneys start functioning with this disease, but what it is, it's stretch marks on your kidney. And so protein starts leaking out, important protein that your body obviously needs. So things just got really bad. I would get really swollen because then I was retaining too much liquid. It was really bad. Mind you, this was all happening on my senior year of high school. I was miserable, especially because you want to like look beautiful in all your pictures and like everyone's going to parties and that's the kind of like the year that you're just like flexing like bitch I'm a senior. I was not flexing. I was really, really depressed. Imagine like my whole face was swollen and people kept asking me if like my wisdom teeth got taken out and I'm like,
oh no, that's how swollen your face was. Do you happen to have pictures of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'll show you my graduation picture, like my day of graduation, and you'll see my face.
So we're gonna have that visual right now,
Right here.
with
Oh my
with
God,
her
it's
swollen
so
cheeks.
embarrassing. And my color, I was getting yellow because if you have kidney issues, you get yellow.
You get yellow.
Anyway, so eventually my kidneys gave out, like really bad, to a point where I got put on dialysis, which dialysis is it's kind of like a treatment where they connect you into a machine and they basically take out your blood and then they clean it in this machine and then they put it back into your body, right? Which is fucking crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
The first time I did it, I honestly wanted to throw up because of the thought of like blood leaving my body and then coming back in. It was
thinking
gross.
about that gives me goosebumps.
Right. But it's not as bad as it sounds. Honestly, they put you in a lazy boy and usually have a TV there and you get to sleep for 3 hours. It's just uncomfortable because you can't feel nauseous. You can't feel like a headache. And then you're kind of stuck in a chair for 3 hours. Whatever. I was there for about a year and then my mom got tested to see if she would be a match, right? Because most likely your parents are going to be the best matches for you because they share genes with you. As long as you have 3 genes shared with someone, that's like good enough for them. Obviously, they have to be the same blood type, blah, blah, blah. I usually go for parents and then siblings. Siblings is the best because they're younger.
Right.
Right. Or like your age. And they share genes with you, so which is great. Unfortunately, my little sister was too young. And plus, I didn't want to do that to her. She was just, it was her decision to make. And I wasn't going to be like, bitch, you owe me a kidney. Because like, bitch, I lend you my shirt.
She didn't say like, oh yeah, go ahead, take it.
No. She was my sister was a baby. No. I'm 8 years apart from my sister. And this happened when I was 18, meaning that she was like about like, I can't do math, but yeah, she was a baby.
She was young.
She was obviously underage. Anyways, my mom at the time was like 50 something years old. So she's kind of like an older, she was right at the cutoff, right? So before they gave me the kidney transplant, check this out. They had a plan to remove my native kidneys, right? You're born with 2 kidneys. And they wanted to do that so then the new kidney so the old kidneys wouldn't infect the new kidney, right?
Wait, hold on, pause. So when they were going to give you the transplant, they were going to leave the old kidneys in there? Or
they do that. They do that normally. They leave, basically it's like they disconnect.
What the fuck?
Your old kidneys and connect into the new kidney. And they just live there and they shrivel up like little raisins.
No.
Dead ass. It's fucking crazy.
Wow. Okay, I'm learning so much today.
Yeah. So
science.
Usually they do that. But because I had the disease, they were scared that it was going to infect my new kidney, right? So they're like, okay, we're going to give you an nephrectomy. An nephrectomy is when they remove your kidneys from your body. But a week before my scheduled appointment to get them removed, I couldn't breathe. Like I didn't know if it was like a back pain. I just kept complaining about it to a point where like I started hyperventilating because I was freaking out during dialysis. Yeah. When they did tests, I basically had a blood clot in my heart. Not just in my heart, but I had 2 in my lungs. Yes, I had 3 blood. I had 2 in my lungs and 1 in my heart.
That's
so
scary.
I got put into ICU and I was put on blood thinners for 3 months. Right.
Fuck.
And because I was already there, they're like, bitch, let's just take off your kidneys too. But stupid, not knowing that I was already on blood thinners. I mean, looking back, I could have sued, honestly. But
who was the hospital?
I'm like Jackson Memorial Hospital.
Watch out. Okay.
Corvette.
It is not Corvette. Okay, sorry.
We watch like too many TikToks. Like side note, that's how me and Franny communicate. We just send each other TikToks. It's amazing.
Literally.
I look forward to my mornings. Like see let me see what
did Maddie send me today. Yeah, same. I literally sometimes just open TikTok and I don't even need to watch the latest trends because you send me exactly what I need. I'm like, this is perfect. This is all I need.
Same. I think like we know each other's humor. So.
Yes, exactly.
And also like really like fun. Hey, bitch, you need to know this.
Yeah. Like therapy sessions where you're like, and it's like, okay, why you attack me though? Like, chill the fuck out.
TikTok be doing that, honestly. But I've grown a lot from learning.
Me too. Yeah. I've learned so much on TikTok. A lot of life hacks, a lot of therapy talks. I'm like, wow, who needs therapy?
People really don't value TikTok the way that they should. I'm sorry. So
back to business.
Business. This commercial was brought to you by TikTok.
Sponsor us.
So ICU 3 months. In that process, they do take out my kidneys and they have to basically slice me on the side, which we can show pictures of my scars after.
They'll be here as we're talking.
Yeah. So they slice me on the side and then also in the middle of my stomach to do a laparoscopic surgery, but I started to bleed out. So they had to close me up, and that's why they sliced me on the side. So after 3 months, I recovered for like, I want to say 6 months. And then they finally did the surgery where I got my mom's transplant. Mind you, I was 21 at this time. Mind you, I almost became 21 years old in the hospital.
So senior year and you're turning 21 in the motherfucking hospital.
Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. I've learned a lot about just kind of have to like just deal with things. It made me a very resilient person.
Yeah.
Up to that point, right? But the knowledge and the lessons that I learned after this, I think were even greater. So I got my transplant. I think, bitch, she's back. I'm a new bitch. I'm new. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I decided to like go to college. Before that, I was going to Miami-Dade, like studying nothing, honestly, because my parents were like, bitch, just get your AA. And like, I was just like, no, I don't want to, like,
every Miami girl.
Right? Like, why do I have to learn math when I don't even want to learn, like, nothing in my life is going to be dealing with math. What the fuck? So I had heard about Miami Ad School. So I went to Miami Ad School and like lived my life. I lived at the beach with my best friend. I even did an internship in San Francisco and like honestly living my best life, but ignoring the fact that I had a fucking transplant. I had it in my brain that this is the cure, which is a very common misconception. When you get a kidney transplant, it's just a treatment. It's another form of treatment. It's just a more manageable treatment.
When you had your mom's kidney, did you have to go to dialysis still?
No. Okay. So once you get a transplant, I mean, depending on the functionality of it, you know, if you're not having any complications, you don't have to do dialysis anymore. At that point, I had a port. Okay, so you can get like a catheter, which is why I have so many in my chest. You just do the treatment like that, and then they take it off after like, I think a month after my transplant, they took it off. Okay, bitch, you don't need dialysis anymore. So I was living normal. All I had to do was take medication. But this medication lowers my immune system, meaning I'm very susceptible to colds and stuff like that. But I thought I was invincible, as all 21-year-olds are. Right. I even went to the governor's ball and I watched Kanye. Like I was living my best life, but it was raining. I got sick. And because I got sick, I started losing the function of my kidney. Fuck. I was not taking care of myself. I was not. And I blamed it on getting the disease back. Like it was because like my disease came back, and it did. But I think I had to do a lot with it. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was being really irresponsible. I thought it was a regular 21-year-old, and I couldn't get out of that mindset. Like, bitch, you're not normal. I'm not a normal person. I need to get out of that. Like, you have to live very differently. And just because everyone else is not living the same way you are doesn't mean shit. Like, you know, your health.
Right. You have to prioritize your health.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I learned this after already losing that transplant, obviously. And I fell into a crazy depression. Imagine losing your mother's kidney. Yeah. Okay. I had to put my mom through surgery. Okay. And God forbid something were to happen. My mom only has one kidney. Right. So I was feeling guilty as fuck. I was feeling so hard on myself. I was seeing all my friends thrive. All my friends moved to New York, like living their best lives with the degree that they got. I didn't even finish school. Like, but not because of the kidney thing. It was just because like, I really didn't want to do advertising, but still, I just was in a really, really low point. And of course I had to start dialysis again. But me being the cocky bitch that I was like, oh no, I mean, last time I only took a year, so I can do a year, like not a big deal. Wow. Bitch, 1 year turned into 2 years to 3, 4, 5, and 6. But after year 1, I was like, bitch, okay, get off your ass. Like you need to do something. So I taught myself how to skateboard, and I just started to focus myself, like started to focus on my goals and started to realize like I'm not a victim here. Right. Just because I do dialysis doesn't mean that's my whole life. Like I can do other things with my life, and I refuse to be a victim, and I refuse to let this take over my life. So I taught myself how to skate. I started to get really into my art. I started like sewing, doing embroidery. I started like doing a bunch of shit. Also, just a little quick side note, during this whole time when I lost my kidney, my ex-boyfriend also cheated on me at the same time and broke up with me.
I was going to mention that. I was like, hold on, you're missing a big part, because if that happened to me, bitch, I mean, like, I don't know, that's so overwhelming. I know. Like, fuck.
I realize that I downplay it now because it's not such a big deal anymore to me. I realize like I have a different perspective on things, but at the moment it was fucking huge.
It was huge, of course.
I would cry myself to sleep. I was just on a really low point, but then I was like, I was tired of feeling sorry for myself. Right.
You were tired of playing victim.
Yeah, I really was, especially because like no one was there to baby me either.
Right.
Like all my friends were in New York, and my mom, you know, I wasn't gonna put that burden
On her. Yeah.
So I just started to just focus on myself, really, and try to see what makes me happy.
Right.
And in that process, I feel like I manifested my friends and my business partners that I have today, and the life that I live
That's
right
so
now.
beautiful.
I literally have journals. I'm gonna bring them up.
You
And then
have
I'm
journals?
gonna send. Oh yeah, bitch! I have journals.
Wow.
I have like 10 journals like this.
Wow. Of like what you want, like what you manifested, like
What I
where you are today and
manifested,
stuff.
what I wanted to do, the projects that I was
Wow.
working on. I have it all documented because I think it's a very special. I'm also a nostalgic hoarder, which I will.
That's me. I have a box of memories.
I have boxes. I have like hospital bands. I can't even tell you. I have like the weirdest,
Wow.
randomest things. But in that process, I met Kendrick, Chris, and Biz, and they were looking for a graphic designer. And I was kind of freelancing here and there from like friends who
Right.
knew that I was a graphic designer. And I was like, I'm not really doing anything. And they lived a couple blocks away, which if you watch Franny's, not previous, but previous,
the one with Kendrick.
the one with
Yeah.
Kendrick, he says it like you guys lived
Yeah.
a few blocks away.
It's
Literally
crazy.
across the street.
Yeah. We were like a triangle.
It was
It's
fucking
literally, I live
crazy.
here, they lived here, and you lived here.
It was so wild.
The Illuminati of H Gap. No, I'm kidding.
But I like went over on a bike one day and they're like, yo, we need a graphic designer. I was like, cool. Like I really love the energy here. And they really just were so open. You met, Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kendrick is such you feel very
Accepting.
safe and he's so open. And they kind of welcomed me in. And I feel like we completed like this trifecta situation. And, you know, and then HGAP happened and, you know, we created everything, getting a warehouse, moving in and doing
Yeah.
it. Mind you, I was doing all this while still going to dialysis. I refused to let it get in my way of my dreams because I saw something special. Like, oh my
Right.
God, like we get a warehouse and we're all in the same like vibe and the same like wavelength, and we all want to create something, and we all had such different strengths, but we're all coming together to create something really cool. And bitch, I had a ladder that was like literally like
Yeah.
a construction ladder to get up to my room, and I would leave at 5 o'clock in the morning because. So that was another thing. So dialysis, you can do it different times of the day. And I would schedule mine at 5 a.m. because, bitch, I wanted to be productive. If I did it at 5 a.m., I would go to dialysis, do it for 3 hours, get home around like 10 a.m. with, you know, just the whole process. And then take like a 2 to 3 hour nap and then wake up and then work.
At 4.
Yeah.
I know your schedule like the back of my hand. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember when I first started interning here, like, obviously don't judge a book by its cover, you know, but like when I first started, I was like, wow, like Mari gets up so late. Like, I don't get it. Like, cause the thing is I would get here like at 10 or 11. And
Right.
by that time, Mari was already in her room. So I never saw her coming in from dialysis.
Right.
So I remember every single time you would wake up, it was 4, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why is she waking? And no one told me like the situation. And then one day, I don't know how we got into the topic, but you're like, yeah, like I don't have kidneys. Like I just don't have kidneys, and like I go to dialysis at 5 a.m. And I was like, and me being a dumb bitch, I'm here. And I remember this is when I was working at Orange Theory.
Okay.
So I would wake up early, and then I would work there from 5 a.m. to 12, and then get
Right.
here from 12 to 6 because I
Right.
was interning. And then I'm like, I'm never complaining that I'm tired again. And I remember ever since you told me that story, I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm not complaining anymore, because I'm like, who am I? Like, I just have to wake up for work. Like, you have to wake up to literally get all your blood fucking taken out of your body, get it cleaned out, and put it back in. Like, who am
Yeah.
I to, like, you know? And when you told me your story, I was so in shock, because I would never think someone like you, with the
Right.
energy that you bring to every room, you light it up, you know? So the fact that you were going through that, like, it blew my mind. I was like, holy shit.
Honestly, though, I just feel like I can't be any other way. Like, you can either decide to be a victim or
Yeah.
decide to be your own hero. Like,
That was so good.
It's true, it's true though. Like, I was like, no one's gonna save me but myself. That's it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So like, either I can choose to become a victim and sink into the whole negative aspect of my life, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be like, oh, I get it, you know, whatever,
Right.
and take pity on me. But bitch, that's the last thing I want. I don't want pity. Like, that to me is an excuse. Like, dialysis to me was an excuse, you know, like using that as like, oh well,
Right.
no, I'm just like tired, because like, no, I'm genuinely a very happy person. I'm very positive, and because of the things that I've been through, which I know a lot of people who've had cancer or very like life-threatening diseases feel the same way. You kind of like I don't know, you become awake.
Yeah.
I hate that like, oh, you're woke, but it really is. It feels like an awakening when you find yourself alone in a hospital bed after surgery and just realize like how fragile life is.
Yeah.
You realize not to take it for granted. And I even say it today, like I feel I'm really good right now with my health because I finally got a transplant after the 6 years. Yes, which was crazy. Which I mean, now it's gonna be 7 months.
Wow,
since I got a kidney transplant.
I remember when I got the news because. So, do you want to tell them about like the I guess the false times that you've
we kind of veered away from the story, but so. Living our life, living my life and living my dream, which is age gap, right? And then I had the pleasure of meeting Franny, which I feel like you were also one of those, like, I don't even know if this is a word, like a synergetic, like moment in our lives. Like when we found Franny, it was like, oh my God, this is like perfect, right? So we're working, we're creating. And then obviously with so many years being in dialysis, because I have high antibodies, meaning that my body fought so hard to keep my last kidney that if any of the new kidney were to come in, it would completely attack it and whatever. So they were helping my body get to a good point. After 6 years, I finally got high enough in the list where I was kind of getting close to getting a kidney, right? So I got a call one day and they're like, hey, we got a kidney for you, right? I was freaking out. I was so excited. I put like my fighter braids, which is the best hairstyle, by the way, if you need to go into surgery, any kind of surgery, right? And I go in there, but mind you, this happened like I want to say like a week after my birthday. Yeah. Now, that year, I believe I was 31. Yes. So when I turned 31, I asked for a tattoo. Tattoo, right? So all my friends got together and pitched in to get me this tattoo. And that shit fucking hurt. And if you get tattoos, especially this big, it feels like a big scab. And especially when you put your arm down, all the blood starts rushing in. So mind you, the week after I get called to the transplant and I'm freaking out because my fucking arm is hurting. But I had the greatest support group. Like literally all my friends came with me to the hospital. My mom, my godmother. It was like, mind you, this is pre-COVID, so
squatted.
Squatted. We brought the vlog camera. Yeah, like, yo, this shit gonna be a movie.
I was like, I'm not there, so make sure you get all the content so I can edit it.
So true, at the time, Franny was editing our vlog. Yeah. So I go. They take out blood, which was excruciating because they could only use this arm because at that time I had already kind of evolved to getting dialysis on my right arm, and it's called a fistula. I call it like my junkie arm because it looks like I shoot up, but really it's just a super vein so they can actually take out more blood, and it's more an efficient way to do dialysis. So I'm geared up, right? I have all my IVs. They give me a bath, like the whole thing before surgery. I'm in pre-op, meaning like right before I go into surgery, the doctor comes in and was like, so this kidney is not for you. This is not going to work out because if I give you this kidney right now, you're going to be back here within a year. And then I don't want this for you. You're young. I want to find you the perfect kidney that's going to last you a lifetime. I was like, okay, the universe knows this wasn't for me. It was very much like a blue balls moment though. Yeah. I was like, fuck. And it was so close. And it hit me kind of hard too because I was so close. I was really, as much as like I was so happy and I showed this like very optimistic attitude, I had my moments where I'm just like, I'm so tired. I know. Like I want to live, like I feel like I was living at like I want to say like a 60%. I was at 60%. Right. And I just wanted to live at 100%. Right. I wanted to be 100% creative, 100% present, like 100% like positive when this radiating energy just to like dedicate on me and my career and my friends and my family. Right. And I just couldn't because I was just so fucking tired. And so it was kind of like very devastating. I'm not going to lie. And then like a week after that, Chris, one of our best friends and founder of HGAP, got into a motorcycle accident. It was just like,
there were so many things happening that month. It was so much. And I remember that like you can tell that you were like kind of down. And then I remember that I think it was around that time that there was one day that you came back from dialysis and you were like not okay. And I've never seen you like that. And I was so worried. I was like, oh my God, what? And then Busy's like, let's play Kali Uchi.
I love busy.
Yeah, and then we got you like pomorola because that's like your favorite. And like I felt so bad because you couldn't even go up the stairs. Like,
Yeah, it was scary.
I just think you were going through so much distress on your body and emotional distress
That
because it's like you're like, I don't know, everything inside of you was just completely depleted. Like you were just like, well, like
I don't know, I just felt defeated. That's what it was. I felt depleted and defeated. But honestly, then Corona hit and I was just like, okay, whatever, like let's get back on it. And I got positive again. And you know, if you know me, you, like Franny says, you'll never know that I didn't have any kidneys. And I would tell people, they're like, you're fucking lying. I'm like, I'm not. Like, I just, you know, just living my life, meaning like I wasn't peeing for 6 years. People thought that was so crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy for me. I was like, wait, so like you don't have to like pee, like you don't feel like you need to pee. You're like, how do you feel right now? Do you need to pee? I'm like, no. You're like, that's how I feel.
Exactly.
All the time. And I'm like, I couldn't wrap my head around it.
I know. And it was great when I had to wear leotards, right? Because I never had the problem like taking off my pants.
Right.
And, like, you know. So there were some upsides. Yeah. Always look at silver lining of things, right? But again, I started going about my life and, you know, nothing really stopped me from living my life and that. And then of course Corona, and then that was all crazy. But then finally on July, I want to say, I want to say July 27th, I got a call, which I believe it was like a Sunday or Monday or whatever. And they're like, hey, so your name keeps coming up on the list and, but we don't have any of your blood samples. Like, can you start telling your dialysis center to start sending again? Because like, I don't know, we haven't been getting the labs. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Money comes.
Fake of them.
No, it's a lot of patience. You know, like things get,
that's true.
Especially if you're not high on the list, it's like you're not necessarily priority,
right?
Which I get. So money comes. I tell my dialysis nurse, shout out to Susie, which I love her. She was my dialysis center, my dialysis nurse among others, but for 6 years. And I tell her, she's like, I got you or whatever. As soon as I get home after taking my nap and all that stuff, I get a call and they're like, hey, so we might have a possible match. Do you mind going to the hospital and just, you know, giving some of your blood? And I was like, yeah, no problem. I didn't get hyped up because of what happened in November, right?
Right,
so
the blue ball moment.
Right, the blue ball moment of November of 1990. So but obviously trying to be optimistic while I was driving there, I was just like, you know, if this is for me, great. Thank you, universe. Always thanking universe.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
And then obviously like always talking to my grandmother, who I feel like is always with me. But when I got there, they took me to like a special room because like Corona in the hospital is a whole different
ball game.
It's a whole different ball game. So they took me to like a special room. They took my blood out and then I went home. I was like, okay, no big deal. The rest of the day, I was just like thinking about it. And I had a meeting the next day, right? And I figured when I woke up on Tuesday, I remember waking up on Tuesday and being like, well, they never called me, so I guess it's not for me. You know, but I'm so happy that I'm getting up in the list. And I had a meeting that day and I told the crew, I'm like, okay, guys, like I'm getting called soon. Let's come up with like a game plan as to what we're going to do while I'm gone, because my recovery is going to be out about like 3 months. Yeah. I'm going to be out. And maybe even for the first month, I'm not going to be able to like really be present in all the things that we need to do with age gap and so on and so forth. And at that time we were operating on Corona like plan, meaning like our full staff wasn't back. Like it was, to lose someone like me in the team was a little bit scary. So we had to come up with a game plan, but nothing to it. I was working on Tuesday. I remember it was my shift. I was working. And then when I go home, mind you, upstairs, because we were.
When I go home, literally upstairs.
I showered. I'm literally laying down like this, literally vampiring my way down to bed. And then I get a call and I'm like, hello. And they're like, yes. Is this Mariana? I'm like, yes. It's like, so we have a match. We have your kidney and it's a really good kidney. They kept they kept stressing it. Yeah, they're like, it's a really good kidney. Yeah, so I had to go alone and that was really scary. And not only that, they're like, you can't bring anything. You could only bring your charger, your phone, and that's it. And just the clothes on your back. I was like, bitch, but what about my stuff?
Yeah. What about my stuffed animal that I sleep with every motherfucking night? My elefante.
My Fonte. And it was crazy because, mind you, I'm not a hospital rookie. Like I'm a veteran, meaning I know exactly the kind of socks I have to bring, like all this. I have like a whole bag, right? Like ready for things like that. And I couldn't bring anything, which was really scary. So of course I screamed on the top of my lungs after I hung up. And I was like, busy. like she thought I was just like screaming or something like that. And when I told her, we started jumping up and down, crying, and they're like, "Let's tell the boys." And we go outside. I tell the boys. I'm screaming. I obviously call my mom, call my boyfriend, I called everyone that I like needed to know immediately. I also didn't want to call too many people because of what happened last time. Right. I didn't want to get other people's hopes up, because last time I got a lot of like pity calls, and I know they mean their best. Like I know it wasn't anything, but it made me feel bad about it. So I just like, let's just wait. Right. I even told my mom, like, don't tell anyone until like the surgery's actually happening. So I was like, okay. So I made a whole bag, right? Just in case I can sneak it in, because bitch, like I know my way around the hospital. So I was like, bitch, I'll sneak that shit in. I made a whole bag, but then I brought a blanket and I made it look like it was part of my outfit.
Yeah. You bore it as like a fucking scarf.
Bitch, because like for some reason, like hospital, like sheets, sometimes they don't, or some nurses don't give you enough sheets, or you don't have a pillow.
In there.
Right. Because maybe if you have sheets, but then they don't give you a pillow. So I have used that. A blanket's very, very useful.
Essential.
And a good sweater or something. So I wore a long sleeve, some sweats. I put my hair in some braids, which is the best. And obviously I have my phone and my charger. Excuse me.
I'm not taking that out. Like, just like Kendrick, bitch. One of my posts.
I feel like after you talk so much, you just like swallow a lot of air.
Yeah. And I'm always like stumbling across my words. So like the fact that you're taking the lead, I'm like, kill it. Yes. So I don't have to look like a motherfucking idiot. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So I finally get in there. I'm very nervous, but dude, the hospital was like a ghost town. There was nobody. It was so quiet. And for it to be like I don't know, I think it was like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning in a hospital for nothing that had been happening.
Right.
Especially Jackson, which is an ER center. Like, dude, that shit was ghost town. But yeah, they took me into my room. They did all this shit. And I went into surgery. And it was like really emotional. I was crying. And
Mari.
But at that point, they had to take away my phone. You know, they had to like, here, put everything in your bag. And I literally had nothing, not even my blanket. I'm
something to like feel like you're grounded, you know?
Nothing.
Oh my God, I need my SpongeBob there. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I mean, I don't know how I did it, but it was, I knew at that moment, I was like, bitch, like woman up.
No, sorry. I'm like, bitch, Corvette.
Not at this time.
I'm sorry.
No, but I was like, bitch, woman up. Like, this is your moment. You got to be strong, not just for yourself, but for everyone else. And like, don't let your nerves like psych you out. Like, this is a really positive moment, and just start putting like positive energy out there. Ask for your ancestors and your spirit guides to kind of guide you, because I'm completely aware of all the things that can happen in a surgery. Just like getting anesthesia is a risk.
Yeah. Just that itself.
And then also being in surgery for at least 5 hours is also a risk. So, and you don't know what's going to happen, whatever. So I get into the pre-op, right, which is right before, and I had a team of all women, and then they're like, okay, your doctor's here. Don't hate me, I forget his name. I'll get his name. I'm sorry. It was just a lot of nurses.
A lot of people were there.
A lot of people. But I did know that the doctor was really young. He was like 34, 35 years old.
Good for him.
Yeah. And I think it was like, I don't know. It made me feel at ease. It didn't make me feel like, oh.
I just realized I said good for him. I didn't even know if it was a man or a woman.
Yeah, it was. I think I said him.
Oh, really?
He was. Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm like, what type of person am I? Like, you know.
Like, get with it.
On Women's Day.
Anyways, but all the nurses there were so comforting. I was like, I'm alone, blah, blah, blah. And they couldn't believe I was like 31 years old. And they're like, oh my God, crazy. And then this one lady saw me freaking out, because I was like, look, I'm really nervous. I'm also really scared of the pain and stuff like that. They gave me something to ease my nerves, and it just made me feel normal, which was kind of ironic. That's just supposed to make you feel sleepy. No, it made me feel like normal, because that's how high my anxiety
your tolerance
was. Yeah. No, and my tolerance, you're right. So then this lady was like, do you want to FaceTime your mom? I was like, yes. I was freaking out. I was like, that's all I really wanted. So I got to FaceTime my mom. I was crying. I can barely get a word out, but just seeing her and her like kind of reassuring me. I go inside. I'm cracking jokes, because that's how I deal with pain. Deal with pain. Me. When I'm uncomfortable, I do, you know, everything's funny. And then I woke up and it felt like, oh my God, this is happening. And then that's it, you know? And from there I had to obviously be my support system, because I also could not have any visitors. Yeah. I did get one of the nurses to hook me up and get the bag that Busy brought, and she hid like chicken kitchen inside because I also don't eat the hospital food. After I was allowed to actually eat solids, she actually snuck some in for me, which shout out to Busy.
Yeah.
And then, so fun fact, if you don't know this, if you get any type of surgery, you should walk literally as soon as you can. Like as soon as either you wake up or as soon as they give you the go that you can get up, because you will get better faster.
Yeah.
From my experience from different surgeries, I've been lazy before. Like, no, I'm just like, I'm really a lot of pain, and people are like, okay, fine, don't walk. It took me twice as long to get out of the hospital.
Wow.
You have to force your body to move as soon as you get out of surgery. And I was the only one to push me. I literally had to push myself. And in a way, I kind of liked that I was alone because I had to push myself.
And you were more focused like on yourself.
Right.
You know?
And I wasn't being babied.
Right.
Which I realized that, of course, being a girl and my family who's so loving and supporting, like I would have had 1,000 people there do everything for me, and I would have taken fully advantage of that. Be like, yes, can you pass me the control? And the bitch is like right here.
Right.
But after that, I was like, bitch, it's on. I've always said it. I was like, it's over for you bitches.
Yeah,
once I get my kidney,
for you hoes.
It's over. I mean, you know, even though it's International Women's Day, I meant like hoes everyone, not just girls.
Not just girls.
But it's true. And then I've been recovering, and it's been great. And the irony is that this kidney is better than the one that my mom had given me. My levels are so much better than when I had my mom's. And shout out to the guy who gave me the kidney. So the only information that I do have, because they didn't want to give me a lot because due to the family, they didn't want to.
Right.
I don't know. You have to respect those wishes. But according to the hospital, he was a 33-year-old man, more or less my age. I don't remember his name. Well, they didn't give me his name. No, they didn't give me his name. But they did give me his age. And he apparently was in an accident because he was in trauma, which was for a couple of days, which is why they hit me up on Sunday.
Right.
Right. So I think they were preparing to like unplug him,
right?
You know, or disconnect him from a life source that he had, and life support. And then I guess they were getting ready to donate his organs, and I came up, right? So, but I guess it's like a man's organ, so it's like a really big organ. My mom's organ was really tiny. They were really surprised that our organs were all very tiny. And my mom is short. My mom is 5 feet.
She's little.
She's little. She's petite. And so this guy's kidney's really big. So I feel like my body really responded really well to like a really big kidney. And honestly, I've been so blessed and been feeling so great. And I have not taken anything for granted. I've been really on top of my health, like really on top of everything, because I don't want... Because, okay, a lot of things can happen, right? Like my body can reject this kidney tomorrow, really. And it's nothing that I did. But I refuse for this kidney to like fail because of something that I did.
Right.
You know, like I'm going to do everything I can because I know what it's like to be in dialysis for fucking 6 years. And I don't want to do it and not feel guilty again because it was something that I did. So now I'm just like living life, doing the things that I can. So that's my medication alarm before my actual medication. So that's something that I do. I set an alarm before the actual alarm. So
that's
then it doesn't...
With my birth control though.
Yeah. I mean, but it's good. It's a good strategy. You know, I'm doing certain steps that work for me to help me remember to take medication. And I don't just take it as like, oh, this is so annoying. I take it as in like, bitch, I'd rather take 1,000 pills than have to go to dialysis again.
Right.
And I take currently right now 23 pills a day.
23?
Bitch, I take like 12 at a time. Like,
bitch, what the fuck? I did not know you took 23 pills.
Oh yeah,
that is
I can
crazy.
show you my pills. I take a lot of them, and a lot of them are just vitamins that I have to take, but a lot of them are immunosuppressants, which suppress my immune system. But so I think synergy is a thing. Nothing in life is coincidence. So I think it's crazy that I got my kidney during Corona because... So part of being a kidney transplant patient, you have to wear masks. Yeah. Like they require you to wear masks until at least for 2 years, like until you reach your 2-year mark. And before I was all very like, I'm fine. Like I can do it like without a mask, and I would rock without a mask because it's like so embarrassing. And they didn't have cute masks before. It was just like the blue ones. Right. And I think it's like really cool that like I can wear masks and not feel alone. And feel like everyone else is with me doing it. Right. And I don't feel like a patient, or people don't look at me like, oh my God, why are you wearing a mask? Right. You know, because no one who's sick wants to be treated as a sick person.
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah, when my dad, when he had prostate cancer, he told me not to tell anyone. He didn't tell anyone because he's like, I don't want anyone to treat me any differently. I don't want nobody to have pity for me.
Right.
Nobody knew, like only like the immediate family and whoever like really needed to know.
Right.
But no one knew until like after recovery. He's like, yeah, this is what I went through,
Yeah.
period. Because he didn't want
I can completely relate.
to feel pity. Yeah.
It's that you don't want that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I get reminded every day because it's my life. I'm living it. I don't need your pity to remind me how bad it really is.
Yeah.
I feel like my daily life and my friends and family and the things that I do were the things that really helped me through all my worries about being sick and all that stuff.
Right.
So yeah, now I laugh and I look back at it, and even I'm like, oh shit, I went through a lot, but I don't know. I just live my life, you know, and a lot of people use those little things, and unfortunately it sparks their depression and they can go into a really dark place, and I don't blame them. You know, mental health is a real thing.
It is.
And I feel like I had enough strength in me, luckily, to get myself out of a hole before I got too deep, you know? And then luckily I still had this amazing will to live. Like I knew in my hearts of heart that like I had so much more to accomplish and a mission that I still haven't completed on this earth. And so after all this, I feel like one of my missions in life is to inspire, motivate people to do whatever the fuck they want to do, whether it's something creative or not.
Period.
Just to take, you know, your life into your own hands. Like I said before, be your own hero.
Right.
You know, you can literally create whatever you want in your life, and you can't, you know, don't make excuses. That whole thing, oh no, it's because I don't have money to go to school, or like, you know, or no, I don't have any kidneys, so like I can't do anything. Like,
Right.
No, yes, you can. You can. Poder es querer.
Yeah.
Or querer es poder. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom.
Sorry,
Querer.
Mom.
She'd be like, where's your Spanish?
Yeah. She's like, girl, get it together.
Yeah, no, pero querer es poder. Meaning to want is the will.
Yeah.
You know? So yes, that's my kidney story.
That's crazy. I feel like your kidney story is so motivational because of all the elements that it brings to the table. Not just like, you know, you with no kidneys. It's how you overcame it, how you endured it, all the things that you had to go through physically, emotionally, you know. That's insane. And one of the questions that I want to close off with is like, can you give anyone advice or like someone who is kind of going through like the same type of situation that you were in, as for being sick for a long period of time? Can you give them any advice of like what they can do to like maybe, I don't know, get out of a funk they're in, or like really like have the will to continue to live, and live by live I mean like really do things that make them happy.
Yeah, live with purpose.
Exactly.
I would say do things that make you happy. Okay. And not just like, oh, because they feel comfortable and stuff like that. Like, don't, and I've said it throughout this whole entire podcast, like don't, like you have to kick your own ass. Right. And sometimes you have to be the one person like, bitch, you're making excuses. Like, don't be the victim, because you're not.
Yeah.
No one's going to save you. Bitch, you got to save yourself.
Period.
And so if you're in a similar situation, take the time that you need to really process what you're doing. Right. Get the help that you need. If you can afford it, you know, like really start reading books, like things that will help you have a different perspective to get you out of that current mindset that you have. Right. Me was, let me teach myself how to do something, which I know you can relate. You know, teaching yourself something new is a great way to get you out of that mindset.
100%.
You know, and proving to yourself like, oh, bitch, I'm strong.
I could do this.
I could do this.
What else can I do?
Exactly. Start off slow. Maybe, you know, teach yourself how to, you know, if you're a graphic designer, maybe teach yourself how to, a new trick on Photoshop. Me was something physical. I think physical activity when you're depressed or you're in a really dark funk,
that is so important.
move your body, because your body stores a lot of energy.
So if you can release that some way, somehow, that's the best. I feel like that's what helped me when I was in COVID. I would just roller skate.
I know. And like, I heard your podcast.
Yeah.
It
Once I started roller skating, I was like, the fuck? Who's this ex of mine? I don't know him. Who's COVID? I don't know her.
But you know why? Because not only were you moving your body, but you were doing something that you were learning. You were using your mind and your body at the same time, and you were having fun.
Yeah.
You know 100%. What I mean? And I feel like I was having fun with my life. Mind you, it doesn't bring meaning to my career or anything that I know how to skate, but it was something that I wanted to prove to myself and always wanted to do. So yeah, I guess that's my only advice for someone who's going, even even if you're not going through the similar things that I went through,
Right.
but even if like life is not going well, I know a lot of people lost their jobs during COVID and stuff like that. Take this opportunity and do something different. Take yourself out of your own element. Teach yourself something that you really enjoy. Read books, you know, change it up a little bit and do something that makes you happy. And then once you start finding happiness in one area, then you start searching for happiness in different areas.
100%. And I think it's so important to get out of your comfort zone, because I feel like that is what oh my God, I can't talk. That is what is holding a lot of people back, especially
100%.
during quarantine. You saw the type of people that were coming out of their shells and like really trying new things and opening their own businesses and like all this stuff. And I feel like it's crazy how you see those different personalities arise when there's hard times. And I feel like you were able to get a hard time and make it into like literally like something amazing and beautiful, you know?
Right. Be the person who doesn't think that the universe is against you.
Yes, that why is this happening for me versus why is this happening to me? I always say that. Every single time something quote unquote negative happens, I always recite to that. Why is this happening for me? And literally when I was in COVID, that's what I kept repeating. No matter how negative the thoughts were getting, I'm like, I just know this has a purpose. I know this has a purpose. And it did, because literally everything fell into place, you know?
But what's crazy is that with your energy like that, I feel like you start attracting not only just things that start helping you, but even people. I feel like the reason why I had the mindset that I had, because it was just a spark that I had. I didn't get here immediately. Like, I learned how to skate and like, bitch, I'm positive as fuck. No.
Right.
I started going to that direction and I started finding like-minded people.
Right.
And look, you are who, you know, like how your mom used to always say, like, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell who you are. Like, you are a product of your environment. And if you surround yourself with positive people, safe spaces, and people that allow you to be you and understand your process, bitch, there's nothing you can't do.
100%. Yep. And I feel like, you know, when I see you and I see like, you know, all the courage that you have to be this amazing person, it really gives me strength. And I told you this the other day, we had a photo shoot, and like, it's just crazy because in the art world, it's really hard to find people that really understand your concept and do everything it takes to achieve your image or your goal.
You want to be selfless.
And to be selfless on set. And I feel like Mari has never been a selfish person. When it comes to in general, she has never been that type of person. And especially on sets, like seeing how she works, it really motivates me, because I'm like, this is the type of people that I want in my life and on my sets. Like, she's a perfect example of that, you know. And I thank you so much for like being this amazing person. Thank you. I feel like I value you so much. I'm gonna cry like literally thinking about it. Like, it's crazy how much like you have changed the world. And like, you being alive, just like a lot of people I feel like are so grateful for you. And that's why like when you got this new kidney, I was very emotional, and I was just like, wow, this is like gonna be so great for her. Because imagine, Mari was already fucking amazing, like with 0 motherfucking kidneys, and now she has 1 amazing kidney and you're motherfucking killing it. Like, it's amazing. Like, just the energy you bring to this world. And I just want to thank you for being here, for being on this podcast.
Thank you for bringing me on. I feel like I admire you a lot, you know, so much. I see so much in me, you, and I think vice versa. I feel like I agree. I learned so much from you. Mind you, there's an age difference here, but I don't see it at all. I feel like your energy and your organization skills and your selflessness too, because I see a lot that, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have the same. You tell me to do, you want me to help in a project, bitch, I go in 100%,
right?
Even if it doesn't benefit me, because damn, you're trusting me to do something, and I value your energy. We trust you with our space, you know what I mean? Like, I want to say thank you so much for being in our lives. We value you a lot, even if we don't tell you maybe like every single day. Like, you're very important to us, and not just on a business sense. Like, as a friend, we value you very much. At least I do.
I'm gonna cry. I'm very emotional.
I honestly think, though, to be perfectly honest, I think we have karmic links.
Yeah, for sure. I really do think I have karmic links with everyone here at HGAB. Like,
totally.
I don't know if you guys are my cousins or like related. I think for sure you guys, you 4 were definitely like close, like sisters and brothers.
Totally.
Me, I think I was like a second cousin, maybe like an aunt.
No, yeah, you were like, definitely. But that's why I believe, when we were talking about this earlier, like synergy. I don't believe in coincidence. Coincidence, bitch, who? No.
Yeah.
Nothing's a coincidence. But yes, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day and just like talking with me, and also being my friend when I was at my lowest of lows when COVID hit. Like, you were there for me. So yeah, I just want to thank you so much for being an amazing person, being on this podcast. And if you want to go check her out, these are her Instagram handles.
Yes.
Where can they find you?
Right here. It's Hema, H3Y_MAA.
Say it again.
H3Y_MAA.
Period.
On Instagram.
And you know where to find me, bitch. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you again, Mari. And inspiration. Here you go. Monday inspiration for you guys.
Shout out to HCAP Studios.
Shout out to HCAP for this amazing space. Renovations coming soon, so this is gonna be even better than it was.
I'm so
before.
excited.
Yes.
Literally, we're designing this whole space like inspired by you and your podcast.
I'm ready. I want to get my own chair though. Like, I'm gonna thrift a pink chair.
Bitch, yes.
Period. Anyway, stay tuned for that, and I love you guys. Have a great day.